3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello beautiful internet people and welcome back to another video. So yeah, today I have something pretty cool to show you, and that is version number 2 of my rocket. Now some of you might remember that a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months ago, I'm not sure, I created this little rocket, and yeah, it's pretty cool, and I'll pop a link to it in the iCards and the description, because has a block by block tutorial if you want to build it yourself. But as you can see, it's pretty small, and yeah, someone commented on that video if there is a way to make it like wider so that you could actually fit a person inside of the rocket. And yeah, that, my good sir, is a genius idea, or ma'am, I'm not really sure. Yeah. Anyway, so that is what I have here for you. A rideable rocket. So yeah, let's get into the redstone. First off, also I just want to mention that sadly I will not be doing a block by block tutorial on this thing, just because it took me like half an hour to get the rocket into this world, and to construct this tower took like another hour or something. So yeah, it does take a while to make, and so the tutorial will probably end up being like an hour long. And so I'm not going to do a block by block tutorial, but if you are interested, there will be a world download in the description or the comments if you want to go and download it and check it out for yourself, because I know there are probably some of you out there that would want to create this in your own world. Now, for the redstone, we are going to split it into two parts, the actual rocket and the tower. Now, the rocket is just a flying machine. Now, it uses, unlike the other rocket, it's powered by a redstone block motor. And the reason for that is it's really simple. It's mainly due to the larger size. Basically, the flying machine consists out of this 2 by 3 area. That is pretty much the flying machine and the motor. And then we just need to pull along the rest of the thing. Now, if I were to use an observer here, it would work kind of. But the problem that I had was the thing, the rest of the flying machine would take too long to get pulled up, and so basically there wouldn't be enough time for the observer to update and the piston to extend. So basically the observer would update before the piston has the ability to extend again, and so it would only move up by one block and then get stuck. So that's why I used the redstone block, since basically the redstone block would constantly power this piston. So whenever this piston can extend, it will extend, and that's actually the reason why the tower exists, because we need a way to keep the rocket from launching prematurely. That's where this circuit gets in, but we'll take a look at that a little bit later on. So if we move down, you can see we use a similar system to the previous rocket, where um, basically have a sticky piston and an observer on top of a normal block that the observer cannot stick to, but this sticky piston will actually be able to pull on this honey block, which will pull up the whole segment if this observer updates. So basically, if I can demonstrate here for you, let's just build out. If we were basically when it moves, we will have the flying machine over here or at the top, and then this segment will be one block down. And when this observer will update, as you can see, it will pull up the rest of the flying machine. And so basically, we just have a bunch of those tiles that get moved up. Now, the way that I split the motor into each tile is actually quite simple. We just have two pistons, one here and one here, and they are connected to two segments. So as you can see, we have a block over there that connects to this segment and this side segment over here. And basically that's how we split it into those two parts, and on this side also into two parts. And from there, each segment will pull up the rest of its own. Now it continues with the pulling motion all the way down to the bottom. And here at the fins, it pretty much uses the same concept, except we have to do it at more of an angle. So as you can see, we have this kind of step pattern that's responsible for creating a nice little curve. And that's also why there are some, that's also why we have sticky pistons more frequently, just because since we're moving sideways and down, the amount of what do you call it, honey blocks required is a lot more. I think let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, this piston over here pretty much pulls the entire push limit that the piston can do. Now for the tower. Now the tower was a bit more of a pain to make. Surprisingly, I actually think the rocket was faster to construct than the tower, just because there are so many things happening at the same time, and it needs to be fast enough, but also move far away enough. And yeah, it was kind of a pain to make. So let's go to the bridge first, since that is pretty simple. Basically, we just have three slime blocks with some slabs on top of them, and then a sticky piston and another sticky piston. And basically, this is just a very oversized jet door. So yeah, pretty simple, just a jet door. So we pull this bridge thing one block that direction, and then one block back into that direction, and that's how it works. Pretty simple. And then we just have a gap here so that you can get into the minecart, so that you can ride inside of it, so that you don't glitch through the floor. Surprisingly, figuring that out took like half an hour because I kept using boats, but boats actually glitch through the floor, but not minecart. So I tried like half an hour to fix the problem, but then it turned out the solution was just to use a minecart. But back to the bridge. So as you can see, we have this low redstone powering this piston. That's also powering this repeater, which will update this observer after delay, activating this low repeater pulse extender that will power this piston over here. So if we quickly depower it, you can see the breach retracts, and when we power it again, the breach will extend again. So yeah, that's pretty simple. And if you're wondering why this thing double pulses, that's because I found a new bug, and it's pretty strange, but sometimes there is a slight chance that the sticky piston won't actually stick to the slime blocks, and I've no idea why that is, but yeah, that's a bug that I had to work around. But basically, the reason we are retracting the bridge to begin with is just so that we will steer clear of the rest of the rocket, so that it won't get caught on any fins or whatever. Now for the top one. The top one was a bit more complex. Now, if you're wondering what the top bridge is for, that is to keep the rocket from launching prematurely. So, like I said, I use a redstone block, and the redstone block will power this piston whenever the piston can be powered. And so the way to stop it from launching is to either have an immovable object, or to have more, or to have it push more blocks than it can. So basically, if you count with me, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks that this normal piston needs to push. So basically, we just have two more blocks over here in the form of end rods that will form block 12 and block 13. And so now this piston has to push something that is higher than the push limit, and that is why it can't launch. Now the problem with this is, as you can see, it's a lot closer to the rocket than the bridge. The bridge kind of only needs to steer clear of this one wing, But since this thing needs to move in one block closer to the body because the actual rocket curves inwards, and it also needs to be on top of the thing. So basically, it's like that shape door contraption down there, except it's twice the amount of pain. Literally, because it's a double piston extender shape door. It's kind of the easiest way I can find to describe it. So if I quickly grab a obsidian block, I can stop this thing and I can show you how it works. So we have this locked, this hopper here is locked, and this hopper has an item inside of it that sends out an input into this block powering that repeater and this piece of redstone. Now, when we press the launch button, after a certain amount of delay, this hopper will depower, and when that happens, the item will get transferred into the dropper, which will depower this redstone and that repeater. And so let's just check. Yeah, I do have that obsidian block down there. So if we remove this item, as you can see, the door or this contraption will retract. Now, let's quickly find the easier way to, or better way to demonstrate it. So removing this block will give the same effect. So as you can see, we double retract the thing to this side, and then we double retract it again to this side. Hopefully that makes sense. And also all of these things can technically be toggled. They work on extension and retraction, just because, yeah, I'm not really sure, because it doesn't need to be able to extend again since it's a one-use circuit. But yeah, it can be extended and retracted over and over again. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that part of the circuit. So let's get flying in this thing. Okay, so we're on the bridge here and we have a launch button over here to the left. So basically all that we need to do is to press launch, and then the countdown will start, giving us enough time to pop into the minecart before everything retracts. So let's hit launch, and then let's pop into the minecart. And yeah, as you can see, the bridge retracted, and there the top part retracted, and now we are flying inside of the rocket ship, just like that. And now we will cruise up all the way to the moon and beyond, or technically just 256 blocks, because that's the world limit, and so this thing will kind of stop there. But it will go all the way up there, so if you want to, you can build like some fake moon or something up there if you want to. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and to subscribe if you're new around here. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see all of you again in the future with a brand new video. And also remember, there is a world download in the description if you want to go check it out. But yeah, bye! Man, this thing is noisy.